Good afternoon. Welcome to BISTalk, Believing is Seeing Talk Radio, where we make courageous contagious. I'm Bob Ryan.
I'm Montana Smith.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh.
Where is everybody?
We're waiting on Aaron and our guest to get back.
Yep. They stepped out for 1 second. I think they had an important conference outside of the studio.
I think so, too.
I'm not sure why, but... What should we do? What should we do? We just...
Okay, I'm not going to ask you if you know any good jokes, because I know you don't. Is that mean and wicked or what?
No, not really. Because all my jokes are good to me. And they sound amazing inside my head. They really do. When I think of the joke, I laugh internally. Somehow when it comes out, not so much sometimes. Have we danced around enough?
I think so.
We've killed, a minute and 13 seconds.
Aaron, can you help our guest with his
What?
headset?
What? We're putting headsets on. Can you tell? All
Yes,
the
it's
listeners
all
can
banging
know
around.
we can hear our headsets. Yes.
Okay, let me help you.
Wait.
Okay, right here.
Another example of our overly oiled machine in action.
Yeah.
Rolling, okay?
This is a great start to a
Okay,
show. I
good.
love this.
Okay, he's up and rolling.
It's a long weekend. It's a Friday. Everybody's gone.
Oh, we're in
We have all
vacation
sorts- yeah, we're in
mode.
vacation mode. We have so many
That's
excuses.
what it is.
Our diehard listeners will forgive us, I hope.
And what about our non-diehard listeners?
Oh, they've already
They've already left.
They
They've
have
already
left the
changed
building.
the
we lost
channel.
that one listener who was here accidentally.
So what do you think people do when they scan the dial and they get to our show? Of course, we're at the top of the dial. Nobody scans the dial and gets to 1700.
Well, but sometimes you have
gotta
to go all the way to the top to get back down the bottom. Like a lot of times, I don't go up and then down. I just continue one direction.
Oh, that's right.
So
Now
they
with the
might
electronic
change
scan, you can just, okay, never mind. Maybe people do scan by 1700. What do you think they do when they get to this show and they don't know who we are?
I think they hear our delicate, lovely voices and they just stick around.
Yeah,
They're
that's what I hope.
hypnotized and mesmerized by us.
So everybody out there listening that got to us by just scanning, go tell everybody to listen to us. We need like 8 more listeners. Our goal is 8 more by the end of June.
Where did you pull 8 from?
That's quadrupling our audience.
Yeah,
Okay, that works.
That's a good goal.
It's good to have
400% increase. We do have a guest, though. Very cool. On our holiday weekend coming up, Nick Woods is here. He's founder and CEO of a company called HOHM. They bring sleep to us. That's very cool. Home.life is the website, and it is a .life, not .com. Very cool. HOHM is home.life. Check it out. Nick, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're an awfully young guy. I keep saying, we've had this slew of like really young people come in.
Yeah.
So I keep saying our guests get younger and younger as the time goes on. And the
Yeah.
older I get, the younger you get, right?
Yeah. No, it's pretty young.
You're not
but-
even 30 yet.
No, I just turned 26 recently.
Seriously?
Yeah.
This isn't your first company either, right?
No, it's
It's
my
got to be
second
something
company,
in the
yeah.
water, you know?
Well, what is up with you? You know a lot of young, I mean, there's a lot of people like you out there, right?
There are some, but there's not a whole bunch. I know a few out here.
Well,
because
almost
they-
every millennial has some kind of side hustle, right?
Yeah.
And like I like to say, some millennials are running side hustles out of their side hustles.
Yep.
You know, they're doing Uber and selling something else on the side while they're in the Uber.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a side hustle. Yours isn't a side hustle. Yours is just a plain old, like legitimate
It's a
hustle.
hustle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but to that point, like I was starting companies since I was like, or businesses like since I was 14, just trying stuff
I got you
out.
beat. My first business was when I was 12.
What was it?
Yeah, gardening.
Gardening?
Yeah, until I let the tree at the church I was gardening for die.
Yeah.
I forgot to water it. I was 12.
What happened to that job?
I got fired
They got-
by my dad.
Oh, that's tough.
I know.
That's hurt.
He said the board was really upset that I let the tree die. So okay, I got fired.
Bye-bye.
Anyhow, you started a business when you were 14. What was yours?
Yeah, so I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur when I was pretty young, and I just kind of...
Wait. At 14, you knew what entrepreneur meant?
Yeah.
Could you spell it? Because I still can't spell it. That's impressive.
I think a little bit, yeah. I think a little bit. I was like, E-N-T...
So just real quick, we're going to get into the business, but what allowed you at 14 to understand the world from the lens of an entrepreneur? I mean, what gave you that? Were your parents entrepreneurs? Did you Did somebody inspire you, or
Yeah.
were you just super outgoing and decided this is what I want to do?
So I think the complete opposite. Like, my parents were not entrepreneurs. My mom was like a teacher, a school teacher, and my dad was a real estate agent. And
Well,
so,
real estate agent's kind of entrepreneurial.
yeah, that's
you
true.
know,
So he was
kind of.
more
Yeah,
on
a
my
little
side,
bit,
I
right.
think, than my mom. And my mom was like, go to college.
Yeah,
do
teachers
this.
want a paycheck.
Yeah,
Benefits and a paycheck, right? The
So
stability.
She was kind of like more like, go to college, good grades, go to college, and do this set path. And I used to watch this show called The Big Idea with Donnie Deutsch. It was on CNBC. They bring on entrepreneurs, and it to me it was just like, wow, like entrepreneurship is such like freedom. Like, you could be like 13, you could be 18, you could be 80 and start this company, and like, people will buy your product, and you could really just kind of, there's no rules. All you need to do is work really hard, and you could kind of,
Or make your own rules up, right?
yeah,
A lot of
exactly.
times, yeah.
Exactly. And so that was really appealing to me, and so I just kind of started going after stuff.
At 14, what did you go after?
So the first business I went after was it was like a 3 world. It was like you could customize your own cars and stuff like that. I didn't really know what I was doing. It was called Car Fuse, and so I went out and I wrote like a 40-page business plan, and I got some partner, a business partner. I found him on LinkedIn. I was like, hey, you want to meet up?
You know, at
chat?
14, I had discovered girls.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
nothing else really mattered from that point on until
Yeah, 40 pages.
Now, I
I've
think.
never written a 40 page
Yeah.
business plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing really, but I just started going after it. I was like, this must be the way, and I kind of like learned it as I was going, because I was watching these shows, and whenever my mom would bring me to the grocery store, I'd read like Entrepreneur magazine too, and so
You go to the grocery store rack, the magazine rack, and stand there while mom shop.
Yeah,
I remember those days.
Yeah, she would just be shopping, getting milk, all this stuff, and I'd just be sitting there reading it. And I was like, this is so awesome. And so, yeah, I just started going after stuff, and so I somehow got that business partner, and we met up for a bit, and had all
Was the
these.
business partner also a teenager? Or did
No,
you?
this guy was like, he was probably in his 50s.
Oh, he was really old.
Yeah.
Had it gone.
Well, not super old, but he
Well, compared to a 14-year-old, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Nick Woods is here. He's founder and CEO of HOHM. HOHM.life is the website. Check it out. They bring sleep to you. You're listening to BISTalk. I'm Bob Ryan.
I'm Montana Smith.
And I'm Aaron Canada.
Listen to us help you be courageous. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Sounds good. Yeah.
I assume you've been to the home.com website?
Yeah, it's
Pretty cool
it's
company.
Like, yeah, isn't it like Asia?
Yeah, it's
Asian
a Taiwanese machining company.
Yeah, so they got the domain I wanted, but that life is kind of cool too. So. So how long is this? Or is this just a
2
break?
minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Gotcha.
About the last segment we do, you'll be totally comfortable and won't want it to stop.
Okay.
That's when everybody eases in.
It's an hour, yeah.
Okay.
But it will go by really quick.
Yeah.
It'll go by really quick.
Perfect.
Just enjoy my superior intellect and humor.
You're funny. I like you already. Saying funny stuff.
What did you slip him a 20 under the table?
You're the only one that likes my joke so far.
Yeah, it's good. Get it. Good.
Apparently,
energy.
I appeal to those under 30. That's the problem here.
Oh.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, we're coming back in 15 seconds. Welcome back. You're listening to BizTalk, Believing is Seeing Talk Radio, where we make courageous contagious. And he is a motivated entrepreneur. Actually, he started his first business at age 14. We're talking with Nikolas Woods, founder and CEO of HOHM Inc. I'm Montana Smith.
I'm Aaron Canada.
I'm Bob Ryan. Home.life is the website bringing sleep to you, and that's HOHM.
Oh, you pronounced the H.
You do.
Home.
Okay,
Home.
home.
Without the first H, it would be Om.
Well, I
That
was
would
just
be
thinking, like when you
company, too.
meditate, right? You say,
Yeah, you'd be at
I
peace,
didn't
and
know
we're talking
where
about a
that came
sleeping
from.
company, so I can see where
Well, you're British.
I'm allowed.
You're allowed.
I'm special.
I was giving you the benefit of the doubt. Apparently, Bob's not willing.
Thanks, Aaron. I love you. I love you, man.
Nick Woods is here. As you said, thank you, founder and CEO of HOHM. Home.life is the website bringing sleep to you.
Yep.
Nick, you've got, for somebody who's under 30, well over a decade of entrepreneurial experience already under your belt. Right. So this is baked into you. This is part of your DNA. This is who you are, and it didn't take you a long time to figure that out.
Yeah. Like I said, I started pretty young, just kind of going after stuff, and sometimes it didn't really work out early on. The first thing I started was called Car Fuse, and that was the kind of design your own 3D car and stuff like that, and it didn't work out. I got a quote from a developer for like $100,000, and I was like, I don't have that. And so I went on to do like an online T-shirt business and like DJ some parties in high school and stuff like that. And just kind of got some entrepreneurial experience, and it was enough for me to where I was like, man, this is something cool. This is awesome to just go out and try stuff. And I never really thought of anything early on as like a failure. I just thought of it kind of
as
like
practice.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what we want everybody to believe.
Yep.
Failure is not failure. It's just practice.
Yeah.
When you were on the outside looking in, you saw these entrepreneurs, and you said it was the independence that really drew you to it.
Yep.
Having over a decade doing this, having a lot of practice under your belt, are there other things now that you really like, and are there things that you got into it that you maybe didn't expect that kind of threw you, but now you've adjusted? Because entrepreneurship is not easy.
Yeah.
I mean, you certainly have independence, but what else is there? Is that still what you love about it, or can you now identify other reasons why you were going to continue to be an entrepreneur?
I think, just like you said, like the freedom of going out and trying something. And it's not fun really at the moment, it's not fun for something not to work out, like your venture not to work out. It's not like, yay, it didn't work out. It's like, man, but you kind of just look at, for me, I just had this really strong drive to like, something has to work out, whether it's this venture or the next one. And, I tell people a lot of times too, it's like, you could always, like, never give up, but you could give up on an idea, but just never give up on entrepreneurship in general if that's something you really want to do.
I think what you just said, and I'd like to come back to this after we talk about HOHM, is you said you knew something would work out. You didn't know exactly what it was going to be. I think there's a lot of people out there that have the exact opposite thought. Nothing is ever going to work out for me. Yeah. I'm stuck where I'm at. Maybe later on in the show we can come back to that thought if we have some time. Yeah. I want to get your take on that. But let's talk about HOHM. HOHM.life is the website. Yep. HOHM, right? What kind of company are you at the helm of now?
So HOHM, what we're doing with HOHM is we're creating these sound blocking sleep pods. So they're about 45 square feet, and you could book them via our mobile app or our website. And so the idea is that you could kind of book sleep wherever you're at, whether it's at an airport, university, maybe in an office here one day, but wherever you're at, you have the ability to just kind of hop on and book a quick power nap.
Now, I've seen sleep pods in Japan. Like, if they have a lot of. They're very tight on space. I mean, they have a country the size of California with 5 times the people. Yeah. So they're pretty cramped over there. They've been doing this for a while. They have some pretty sophisticated ones. Yours, you call them sound blocking. But is that the same? Is sound blocking the same as soundproof? Or is sound blocking it's almost soundproof but not quite, because I'm imagining you still want to hear blaring alarms and things like that.
Right. Yeah. No, they're not 100% quiet.
Because if a fire alarm's going off outside, I want to know about it, right?
Yeah. You don't want to be completely.
Yeah. I don't want to be like the studio's soundproof. So if there's an alarm going off, we would know. Oh, I just thought of that. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. No, you could definitely still hear around you. But we also have like a kind of fan switch, so that kind of adds white noise too.
You have a fan in there?
Yeah,
I'm a fan guy.
You're a fan.
I'm a fan guy. I love the white noise the fan creates.
Yeah,
and the wind. I have to have the wind.
I do too. Yeah.
Are you a fan guy?
Yeah. Absolutely. You just put it on. You can
people that are not fan people don't understand.
Yeah. It's either you're a fan or you're not.
Yeah, I know. So what gave you the idea for this? Are you like super into sleep, or did you find a business opportunity? Or I'm guessing you were traveling one day and really wanted to take a nap and there was no way to do it.
Yeah, so my last company, the first successful one I had, so it was like a medical supply startup. And I started that when I was 19, and that was like, I built it up and I moved down to San Diego and brought the company with me.
Where'd you move from, by the way?
From Sacramento.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it was going really well, and I would just have some nights where I would be working super late or whatever, and I'd go into the co-working space the next day, and I would just be so exhausted. And it's like, I was telling Aaron, it's like when you sleep is such a basic human necessity, right. And it's like, and so is food, right? And it's like when you need food on the go away from your house.
We have fast food everywhere,
so many
but
options.
We don't have fast sleep.
Yeah. And you
that's
don't
a good
have.
point. I like that.
Yeah, when you need sleep on the go, which is another basic human necessity, it's like, what are your options? You could, you sleep in the car awkwardly, or you could maybe, get a hotel for 24 hours. But you don't need.
Montana naps while she's driving occasionally.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really good thing. I don't recommend it.
Yeah, dangerous.
It's
Living
dangerous.
life on that.
Totally.
Never getting in the car with you guys.
I don't blame you.
Fall down.
She can also ride a horse to sleep.
Yeah, that I can
That's
do.
impressive.
The horse has to be awake, but
Yes,
she can sleep.
that's right. I'm a lot of fun.
That is crazy. I don't know about that.
So co-working spaces are a great. In my mind, that's a great place to start, or at least would make sense
Yeah.
to have a sleep pod. And
Yep.
companies aren't monetizing these spaces at night, right? Even business parks. So is there a way, we might be getting ahead of ourselves in the story, but are you partnering with people like the public libraries, like the places that you're going into? Would they have the ability to make some money too? Are they going to be like an affiliate partner on these booths, or is this simply your booth, your space, and they're allowing you to park it there?
Yeah, so we have two types of customers. One's like the gatekeeper, so like
Nick,
LAX.
I'm going to interrupt you. We're going to hear the answer to that when we come back from our break.
Okay.
Nick Woods is here, founder and CEO of HOHM, HOHM.life, and that is a .life. I didn't even know that extension was available.
Who knew?
HOHM.life, home life. What a great website. You're listening to BISTalk. I'm Bob Ryan.
I'm Montana Smith.
And I'm Aaron Kanata.
Stay with us. We're going to be right back with more courage for you.
So if you take it off,
Okay.
You're doing really well.
Straight.
You're doing really well.
Okay. Thank you.
You're doing really well.
I'll be getting more relaxed here.
Well, this generates more energy. So if you already had energy coming in here,
Yeah.
but I can tell you what, if say, the same thing happens to you that happens to me when you leave, it will feel like somebody pulled a plug and every bit of adrenaline just drains out of you.
Yeah.
Because on the way
After
home from
this?
here,
Yeah.
on the way home from here, and I've been doing this 21 years now,
Yeah.
I still, on the way home, it's like,
Yeah.
I can't keep that energy level going.
Yeah.
You get so much doing this.
Yeah, and it's like this week too, because it's like normally I'm more relaxed. I feel like it's just like fundraising and taking all these meetings and all this it's just
All I've ever
draining.
done my whole life is raise capital. That's all I've done. That's all I know how to do really well.
Yeah.
That's for me.
So that's the world I live in. We're doing some deals right now with some real estate. It's got her completely stressed out.
Yeah, I'm closing on 3 properties next week.
Wow.
Wednesday.
And the stress was it was supposed to be this week. That's the stress.
Yeah.
It's always
Carried
something
over.
that comes at you out of the blue.
Yeah. And I was
So
like, oh,
try to
man.
plan for the what-ifs, but don't always hit them, you know?
Yep.
And they're not local, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. We're working with people in the Midwest.
Okay, we are coming back in now, guys. Welcome back. You're listening to BizTalk, Believing is Seen Talk Radio, where we make courageous contagious. Nikolas Woods, founder and CEO of HOHM Inc., is in the studio with us today, and he's under 30 and has over a decade of entrepreneurship under his belt already. But, here's the important but, he always knew something would work out, and we're glad he's telling you his story today. I'm Montana Smith.
I'm Aaron Kanata.
And I'm Bob Ryan. Nick, again, thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
I know you're busy right now. You've got a lot going on. You're in the beginning stages of launching what could be a very large entity. But I'm thinking you're hoping will be, and you're going to make.
Absolutely.
Right before we went to break, Aaron, you were asking about I think you asked about the business model.
Yeah, kind of the spaces. You were talking about co-work spaces, and I asked if any of these places that you're going into, are you partnering with them and there's some sort of revenue share for them to have the box in there, or is this you're renting space from the and you were starting to talk about LAX, which I think is one of your initial partners.
Right. So for any type of placement we have 2 types of customers. So one is like the gatekeepers that probably be like the LAX or like a WeWork or UCLA. So those are the people who allow us to place these pods in, and then you have the actual end user who pays by the hour or doesn't pay by the hour. And so those are kind of the two different customers.
And you have to serve both well in order to get one to pay.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to appeal to the executives and tell them why it's good for their location. And obviously for the end user, you have to make it comfortable, a good experience, fast booking and stuff like that. And so those are kind of the two segments that we have. But to answer your question, I think each segment we go after is a little bit different. So airports, for example, we wouldn't. They probably wouldn't pay us anything. We'd pay to have space in the airport.
So you'd rent space in an airport.
Charge the users. Yeah.
And I'm guessing LAX rental is not cheap.
Oh no!
You're not going to get it for 25 cents a square foot, are you?
Oh no! Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, airports are definitely more up there.
Have you checked into what it costs to rent like a space for a do you have any idea what it costs to rent like a space for a kiosk there?
So airports are that was initially my target.
Yeah.
I was like, let's go after airports.
And you found out it's like $8,000 a day to rent a kiosk space or something?
It's expensive, but it's also like super slow moving. It's hard to scale. It's bureaucratic. It's like I put a bid out and it's like, hey, we need this, and but you don't know.
It's kind of like swimming in molasses.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're going to go real slow.
Yeah,
exactly. Though, but you have people who can't go home if they wanted to. You've got tired travelers. There's a lot of foot traffic. There's a ton of reasons why I imagine your head went there first.
Yeah.
So is this, with all the headaches or all the bureaucracy, is it still part of the business model, but you've kind of shifted and it's become a smaller part?
Absolutely.
Or are you just saying, hey, screw the airports, this is too much?
Yeah, so absolutely. So we're still looking at airports, but it's not like and I think most kind of competitors in the space, it's very early space, by the way. There's a few chairs or pods out there, but it's very early. And they're solely looking at airports, and they're like, this is the way. So they're moving really slow. And so my thought was like, there's a lot of other areas where people need sleep.
With a lower barrier to entry.
Yeah.
And maybe even more profitable, right?
Yep, exactly. So we're looking at, major universities. We're looking at hospitals for doctors and nurses, or ER patients.
So where are you at in the cycle? Have you actually produced prototype sleep pods?
Yeah. So we got our first. So the last year and a half, 2 years was a lot of just product development, design, and engineering and stuff like that.
Are there products? Do you have the pods displayed on the website?
Yes, they're on the website.
So people can see it at home.life.
Yeah. So the website does show a rendering. We also have actual photos we're going to be putting up there of the pods. So our first actual pod came in January, and we got all the kind of.
Okay, wait. Who took the first snap in it?
Myself.
You unpacked the pod.
You have to test it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a couple questions about the pod itself.
Okay.
So, is it? I hate to use the analogy coffin style. I don't know what else to call it.
Does it look like an egg?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
No.
So is the shape square?
It is. It's almost like a video game, like PS2 console. It's like a more of a rectangle shape.
Okay. So where do you enter the pod? Do you go in from a front door? Is there like a door on it?
So there's a full kind of glass facade, and there's a glass door, and that's where you enter it.
Kind of looks like an oversized glass shower when I was looking at it. And my question is it's clear glass, right? Is it like smart glass that can cloud up when there's somebody in there using it? You're shaking your head. Yes, it is. We're on radio. You got to remember we can't see.
Yeah.
So there's a full kind of glass front, but it's not smart glass. That'd be awesome, I think, to incorporate in the future. We could maybe flip a switch and it gets dark.
Yeah, but don't really want people in your pods to have unfettered privacy, because then...
I hadn't thought about... in my mind, I did want unfettered privacy, but I didn't think about the things that people might do in there if they thought they were.
You obviously have to think about that, right?
Your mind went to a
when
dark
somebody
place.
gets a loan,
so many times, and so we do...
This is a family show. I heard so many things.
It's not. I'm not going to go there.
So the glass is clear. It is clear air,
and in my opinion, rightly so.
You want it because you don't want to be too claustrophobic either. So I'm as I'm testing them out, I'm looking at claustrophobic. I'm looking at the size. I'm looking at all these different.
They're much bigger than I thought they were going to be. They're actually can you stand up in them?
Yeah. You can stand up. You can move around. You can put your luggage somewhere.
So what's the largest, tallest person that can fit in the pod? Like 6'8"? Like 6'6"?
So it's so the height of the pod is like 7.25
Oh,
feet.
okay. So even large people traveling are going to be able to take advantage of it.
Yeah. So you could have.
I've got some really tall
Kobe
friends
going
that have like, annoyingly tough travel time.
Yeah.
And what
Because they're
about
so tall.
the bed? Is it a real match? Is it like a twin-size bed we're talking about with an actual mattress that fits in?
Yeah. So it's a real. So it's not like a kind of built-in. It's like an actual mattress. So we partnered with Temper Sealy. So they have this new line called Cocoon, which is like.
It sounds
Casper
inviting
bed, yeah.
already.
Yeah.
A mattress line named Cocoon.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody had their thinking cap on.
Yeah. It's,
I've got
it's
a newborn and we
comfortable.
swaddle her, and that's how she probably feels, is like she's in a cocoon.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you just literally sink into them. It's very comfortable.
So the units themselves, you're looking to place in different places other than airports right now because that's the high barrier entry.
Right.
So you're looking at other markets. You're looking at universities, hospitals, co-working facilities.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
So we'll get back to the model. We got to go to a break. Nick Woods is here, founder and CEO of HOHM. Home.life is the website, and that is HOHM. They bring sleep to you. The pods are amazing. Check it out. Maybe you'll be sleeping in one soon. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
So you're right. It does look like a shower enclosure.
Yeah, I took a
That's
look
why
at it.
we bought it up. And I showed Bobby
I used to have a samadhi tank. Are you familiar with that?
No, what is it?
It's a sensory deprivation tank.
Oh, okay.
So it's a picture of a coffin filled up halfway with water and 4 or 5 bags of salt, big bags of salt, so you float. You get in it, you're naked, you close the top, there's no sound, no feeling, you're
It's
floating.
like sensory deprivation.
Complete sensory
so
deprivation.
cool.
Yeah.
So
You
like,
can go amazing places with your brain when you have no sense input at all.
Yeah.
None, zero.
That's awesome.
It's
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's
That is cool.
I've heard one of those places is probably Crazy Town. I've heard people
You
will
said you had
will do that on purpose. If you go long enough, like
it never made me crazy.
Modern Family, they had a little skit where the
Samadhi tank.
my little brother did it, and I think he said after about 40 minutes in there, he was just starting. He's like, I don't know if I
I've
could've
stayed all
Starting to
night in them
twitch.
before.
Starting to twitch, yeah.
I've stayed all night in
without
them
falling
before.
asleep, like actually.
Oh no! I fell asleep.
Okay, that's
yeah.
I guess if you could turn your mind off and fall asleep, or maybe that's not what you're.
It's the
actually doing.
places I go in my head. Bobby Land is so much more accessible in a samadhi tank than it is in real life.
Bobby Land? That's your. Oh, okay.
I live in Bobby Land
I was like, where is that?
because when I walk into Bobby Land, thousands of people stand up and cheer.
There was a great.
Yeah,
there was
should
there
be.
was
it's a
great
huge
cartoon
stadium full of
called
people that
Bobby's
do
World
nothing but
years
support
ago.
me and cheer for me.
Oh.
It's all
Yeah,
up
wasn't
there.
it? Wasn't it
They're
the,
rooting for me. They're pulling for
comedian?
me.
Yeah.
They're there.
That's so cool.
I don't know one of them,
He-
but damn
no,
it, they're there.
wait.
That show was
I
running
love
sometimes.
that. That's awesome.
It might have
So you
been, but
can
it was
have
really
Nicky
neat because it was the
Huh?
little
You can
kid
have
on it with
Nicky
his
Lynn.
tricycle.
Oh, you
It was
can.
all about his
Absolutely.
imagination.
Absolutely.
Just
And there are all these
placing your
scenes
head
with his
where you
mom,
go
but you
and-
only ever saw
That's
her
the
legs.
comedian.
Everybody loves
What's
you.
his name?
Let me see, I'll
He's the
look
guy
it
who
up.
All
doesn't
the
like to
women
be
want you,
touched.
all the men want to be
And he has
you.
to-
I like that. That's a good spot.
And he always used to do one
This
of,
is a great
Wisdom.
show.
one of his characters
Tease out.
was Bobby, and he
Two
always
days
talked
ago,
about
so it's
Bobby's
like-
world. And
What's
he
your-
put the
what's
balloon
your
on his
race?
head
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
blew
you're
it
right.
up
Howie
and-
Mandel, the guy who
that's
hates
him,
being
Howie
cut.
Mandel.
He created it, produced.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why did-
That's a
He's
beautiful
got his name twice
combination.
under
Yeah.
producers.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
That's a
it's-
beautiful
my mom
combination.
is
I
so
have a
great.
great
Okay, guys,
attachment
we're
to
coming in.
Korea.
Oh, do you?
I had no
Yeah.
idea
Huge
that was Howie
attachment.
Mandel.
Yeah, oh
That
yeah.
was a total blow my
That's
mind.
how he
why my-
started.
Great
kinda
show.
just
5
listening
seconds
to
hot.
We're out, so that's why it's kind of hard.
Welcome back. You're listening to BizTalk, Believing is Seeing Talk Radio, where we make courageous contagious. And our apologies to our Facebook viewers today. We're having some technical difficulties.
Again?
I think it's because we're going into the long weekend. I have no idea, but it is what it is.
Be a legitimate excuse if we didn't always
Why,
have these
why,
same
why
technical
can we
difficulties.
not get Facebook technology running? This seems to be a constant kind of like. It can't be that hard to do Facebook Live, and yet it seems to be the bane of our existence.
It is the bane of our existence. So we'll post up the
'Cause
video.
we're radio, that's why.
We'll post up your video this evening. You'll be able to watch yourself all over again.
Great.
Make sure to tell Mom to tune in too, and any of your business partners. He has identified two types of customers, the gatekeeper and the end user. We're talking with Nikolas Woods, founder and CEO of HOHM, Inc. And we're glad he's with us on the microphones on this crazy Friday. I'm Montana Smith.
I'm Aaron Kanata.
I'm Bob Ryan. Bringing sleep to you is what HOHM.life does. Check them out, HOHM.life. The sleep pods that you create at HOHM are much larger than I would imagine. They're almost like little rooms you go in, right?
Right.
That may have been that thing that we saw on the way in was sleep pods.
Could it be?
Although I don't think so, because they didn't have any glass on them.
We saw
a really interesting truck with a thing looked like storage units with doors on it on the way.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It
wasn't
was
sleep.
very strange.
Isolation
Yeah,
chambers.
they could be isolation chambers.
That's where
Sensory deprivation.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's where they put the bad boys.
So,
Yeah.
just out of curiosity, I guess everything I ask is out of curiosity.
Yeah.
On the pods, what does the business model have to look like for you to be profitable with this? I'm not
Right.
going to ask you to tell me what one cost and what they're going to rent for,
Right.
but give us some kind of idea of how much occupancy you have to be at a break even.
Right. So I kind of had to craft the business model around that cost of building a pod, which is just about $12K, right? So it's about 12 and a half. And so
Much less than I thought, by the way. I was thinking there'd be more like 20, 30,000.
yeah,
12?
yeah. So it's about 10 when we get in, and 12 after we put everything inside. But so instead of kind of dropping them in and saying, hey, Facebook or Qualcomm or UCLA, hey, here's your pods and buy them outright and figure everything else out. We kind of wanted to provide more of a turnkey solution. So you're not just getting a pod, you're getting, let's say you get 4 pods, you're getting the technology to book it so that the people in that location could book it. You're getting the administrators are getting technology to track it so they can see the usage.
So if Qualcomm over at their campus here wanted to put some pods in for their employees,
Yeah.
do they buy them under this model, or do they lease them, or do you install them? Or is it depending upon the deal?
So so they would pay so it's almost like a SaaS model. So we're not, like I said, we're not just dropping them in and saying, hey, here you guys go.
Software as service model. You're basically, it's a distributed process. You're leasing them to them then. They're paying a monthly fee to have them.
It's like a service, yeah. So we would bring, let's say 4 pods in, we bring the technology to book it and track it, and then we also have one attendant who's there to make sure people check in and check out.
That's going to be my other question too. Besides the check-in, check-out process, what about the hygiene of these things between users? What's the mechanics of that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So that's one of the most important things for us is making sure that they're
It's clean for the next user.
And, it smells fine. All these things, and so we have very good ventilation on them. But we also have that attendant there who's there to change the sheets after every use. Clean the room after every use, and just overall, make sure one person goes in at a time, stuff like that, and answer any questions. So we kind of have to have that human element there initially to make sure everything's clean. And,
so is there storage in there for enough sheets? I mean, what's the minimum and maximum stay time that you can have in one of these pods? And if an attendant's there, are they there 24 hours, or at least is somebody there all the time?
Yeah, so there would be storage for the sheets actually under the bed, but there'd also be a separate desk where the attendant's at outside where we have some storage there too. And so the attendant would only be there when the placement is active. So if it's active 10 hours a day, the attendant would be there. When it's not active, we lock the pods up and put everything away.
And all the tired people just have to sleep on the floor outside.
Mm-hmm.
So
back to the issue.
Back to my particular question. Do you know what the occupancy has to be in your break-even model? In other words, do you have to rent it 5 hours a day or 4 hours a day under the model you have right now to make some sense?
Yeah, so under the model we have right now, like you were talking about, so companies would pay a set fee every month.
And that covers you and gives you a profit.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that allows us to break.
So you don't have to worry about occupancy then, under that model?
Yeah, under that model you would not. Yeah. So, if a company wants 4, for example, for their employees, we would put 4 in, and they, maybe pay a monthly fee of, 12 to 14 grand a month, something like that.
Have you contacted Sleepy Time Tea?
No, I
because they'd be a good company to market this with.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Sleepy Time. Put that by the
Put
bed.
the Sleepy Time tea in by the bed, right?
Put a tea machine.
Yeah, right.
Do you see a future where there would be no attendant? Like, would it be maybe just it acts as a huge microwave too, and in between people being in there, just microwaves all the germs away.
Irradiation.
And then,
Irradiation.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm just kidding about that, but like a self-cleaning
wait,
pod,
they
right?
do that
Yeah.
in the toilets in
Japan.
in Japan and in New York.
Yes,
I think
they do.
they're self-cleaning. They lock everybody out and.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've seen it in Japan. I haven't seen it in New York.
I'm
but-
thinking like Andromeda strain, right? When you go into that one room and it completely eradicates everything.
Never seen the movie, but it sounds cool.
Close the room up. Yeah, so I think we had talked about it briefly for a second, but I think the ultimate goal is to have these self kind of sustaining pods. And so initially, like we were saying, like it's like just like Lyft and Uber, right? They have these drivers, they need the drivers, they need that human element, but they're looking towards autonomous vehicles and self-driving cars. I think that's the same thing with
You know what
home.
the real money's going to be in this? The video cameras you put inside.
I was thinking when you have self-driving cars, you can rig one up, and then the sleep really can come to you, right?
What's
like
that?
you rig it up on a self-driving car somehow, and then you press a button, and the sleep pod actually does come to
Oh,
you.
portable
that's
sleep
the-
pods,
yeah.
they really do
That's a
come
good
to
angle.
you.
I like that.
That's cool. Well, somebody's working on self-driving shipping containers.
Oh,
So
are they?
when they bring a
Yes.
shipping container, they offload them from the ship. The container will drive itself to where it's supposed to go.
Oh, interesting.
What about that, right?
Brilliant.
So
that is
people
awesome.
could order a pod like an Uber.
So we actually have
Great idea.
we have an outdoor setup. So these pods are indoor pods. So they,
Yeah.
we're looking at doing interesting events, so like multi-day events. So like music festivals, state fairs,
Why not?
stuff like that. Yeah,
Burning Man.
Burning Man. Yeah.
Can we do
a
Burning
great
Man with
idea.
you? We'll go as free labor.
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna do. We're actually gonna do Kaboo in September. So that'll be interesting. That'll be a really cool outdoor setup, and it's like 3 40-foot cargo containers.
I want to find out what your model is and how much it costs to rent these when we get back. Nick Woods is here, founder and CEO of HOHM, HOHM Inc. Home.life is the website, HOHM.life. They bring sleep to you. This is BizTalk. I'm Bob Ryan.
I'm Montana Smith.
Now I'm Aaron Canada.
We're going to be right back. Stay with us.
I love that idea. You're putting the pods in the shipping containers?
Yeah.
How many fit in the 40-foot container? Like 5?
So we combine 3 of them, and it creates like this 1,000 square foot structure, and we put 10 of them inside. So it's like a mini hotel almost.
We got to put one on a trailer so an Uber driver can tow one around.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
So he
Sleep
can
to
just
you.
tow it to your party or
Yeah.
tow
If
it to...
ideas were coming up
Parties
just
would
in
be
this
great,
room,
right? Because people
Yeah.
get drunk, they need a place to sleep.
Oh yeah.
Sleep in the back as he drives the trailer home.
That's right. Load them all in the
You
back
can
and
charge
drive them
per hour
home.
model, then you can rack them up when they pass out and spend all night in there.
Well, that's kind of where my mind went. It's like,
You definitely need a attendant there. Barfing and stuff.
Dear me.
Let's see if I can get a photo. I have a photo of kind of the outdoor setup here. Let's see.
Yeah, we took a look at your
It's really
website
cool.
while you were talking.
Have
to
you
see what it looked
any
like.
desire to go to Burning Man?
kind of. My brother-in-law goes every single year. I think he drops.
I don't
out.
want anybody around me that I know.
Every time you go.
What?
Well,
I
so
don't
You don't want to go as a group?
He used to
No.
be a real wild
I want to
child.
go off in the nether regions. I don't want anybody around me that I know. I don't want.
You've got a
like,
costume for Burning Man
footage
picked out. She probably doesn't
showing
want
up
anybody
on
to
the
see her in it.
internet.
Well, I would probably consider psychedelics again if I went to Burning Man. But I know people have gone and just
Oh, that's
drank
way
or smoked
cool.
a little bit of weed
Yeah.
and had a really good time too.
Yeah.
Like I don't
That
think
is
you
way
have to
cool.
go out.
Yeah,
and
but
be
I have
that.
goals, and it starts
the
on the
outdoor setup.
bicycle.
Oh my
It's the
goodness,
woman's
that's
ride
awesome.
on the bicycle, if you know anything about it.
Yeah, so you could set it up and then take it
It's
down.
the outdoor.
Put it to the next event. Bring it to the next event.
yeah.
Kinda like that.
Okay.
That's very
Well,
cool.
ultimately, I always
could
saw
live
it.
in
We
one
were
of those.
talking about.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I could too.
That
yeah.
could solve the low-end housing problem right there.
Mm-hmm.
Put a little kitchenette.
Yeah.
We got
I
a
think
place to
there's-
live.
He
There's
needs
so
to
many
talk
ways
to the guy that does the container living in downtown San Diego in the public spaces.
Yeah, he might. I mean, he might. He probably works with another company to do the shipping containers. But we had the guy on, Philip Kettle, who
that
created
Courtyard
the courtyard
Oh.
downtown.
That's so
And
sick. That's
we were
awesome.
talking to him about
The guy
doing.
that's redeveloping Seaport Village is right over. It's a $1.2 billion project. They're going to redevelop the whole thing. Like, how many acres? 90 acres of it?
73 acres.
73 acres of Seaport Village left to develop. So it's Seaport San Diego, and they're going to need stuff like this.
Yeah,
It's
that's
coming in
awesome.
5 seconds, guys.
It's right up the street.
That's
That's
right.
really cool. Love to connect.
We've got sleepy time music on. How appropriate.
The pods play music.
We'll find that out in just a minute. Welcome back. You're listening to BISTalk. Was that you?
No.
Oh, it's on the headset.
That'd be brazen of it.
It's you. Bobby's snoring. Anyway,
Is that how I snore?
No, it's a lot louder.
Like a sound effect. It sounds like something I would push a button on here.
I
the
do
Foley
sound
board.
effects.
We'll put you on the Foley board.
That was impressive.
Just call me Foley Bobby.
Foley body, that's it. Well, you're listening to BISTalk, Believing in Seeing, talk radio when you're awake, where we make courageous, contagious. And our guest, Nikolas Woods, founder and CEO of HOHM Inc., is with us today, and he credits his success to an intense drive, hard work, problem solving, and creativity. We sure are glad he's with us today. I'm Montana Smith.
I'm Aaron Canada.
I'm Bob Ryan. Nick, thanks again for coming in. Right before we went to the break, I was asking you what the model is in terms of your present rental price. So let's say this is at some location that somebody wants to use it. I'm assuming they swipe a credit card to get in. And but what is? Do you have it an hourly rate? Is that? I'm assuming that would be how it works, or by the minute. How do you set up in the charges for it?
So actually, there'd be two ways they could do it. So, our thought was like, let's give them an online way to do it, so they could,
very good.
hop on our website, which is mobile friendly, and book it on there. Or they could actually walk up to the
Pay at the place, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. And say, hey, I want to, book it and see what's available, and they would just do it with the attendant who's on staff.
My mind went to an app. I would have assumed there would have been directions right on the thing that said, hey, download this app, and then we'll get started, and it'd have geolocation. But you actually can physically swipe a credit card, or you go on your website. So there is no, right now it's not operating under an app model.
Well, so the website will actually be very mobile. It honestly looks like an app.
It will look,
it's just like you pull it up, and we're working
It's
on an
mobile
app
friendly,
too. Yeah, we're working on a native app too. But it's very mobile friendly.
So what does it cost if I wanted to rent one for an hour? And I'm guessing depending upon the location is going to be different pricing.
Yeah.
Right, because at LAX is going to be probably one of the premium costs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing you can't get it for $2 an hour at LAX.
No. So I don't think any of them would be two, but
maybe the one you find in Barstow.
That's a good How much does a cup of sleep go for these?
The AM PM.
Yeah, there you go.
Next to the gas station.
Yeah.
So most placements will be somewhere between 10 to 12 an hour.
Oh, that's very reasonable. I mean, that's super reasonable.
Yeah.
And
when
is there
you
minimum time?
Their minimum time is 30 minutes.
Okay.
Per
Can
person.
it lock from the inside so that you have a feeling of security?
Absolutely.
Even though that there's an attendant there.
Mm-hmm. You could absolutely lock. So that's a cool thing too. Is once you book it on your phone or your computer, you would get like a digital key. So you could actually just take your phone and swipe it and unlock the door.
Ooh, cool.
And you could swipe it closed if you want to grab water or go to the bathroom.
What about pajamas? Are people sleeping in their clothes? Do they get
good
down to
question.
their underwear?
Yeah.
I mean, what are they doing?
So we give them a complimentary.
Your business model would go
Again, the video cameras inside will be the prime marketing tool here.
Oh, that's horrible. I didn't know my So we are looking though at like slippers that you could give them. So it's like you just take your shoes off and you go in.
Well, that would be comfy.
Yeah, maybe not the full pajamas.
Well, if it's transparent to the outside world, it wouldn't be not an easy place to change either, right?
Yeah, but we have a privacy blocking curtain, so.
Oh, okay. So they can step behind a privacy curtain.
Yeah.
Oh, well, very good.
You
very
get in
good.
the room, you shut the door, and you close.
So there
the
is
curtain.
some privacy.
Oh yeah,
it's not like you're.
100%,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not. But people still can see through the glass, though. But you have a privacy curtain inside.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
But
that
they
makes a
can't
whole
see
lot of
you
sense, right?
Inside, yeah.
So when you're snoozing, people aren't going to be standing outside gawking.
No.
Because I could imagine somebody wakes up and looks through the window and sees 8 kids out there just staring at them.
Yeah,
You know?
no, that'd be weird. No,
What was I sleeping funny or what? You know?
No. And that's a good point because that's actually what a lot of this space is very early, but there's a company called Metro Naps. They produce these energy chairs, or I think they're called energy pods, but they're just chairs. And the problem with that, and they put them in JFK Terminal in New York, and they got really bad reviews because, your full body's exposed, your legs are exposed. You have like a really weird kind of thing over your head, so you can't see anything around you. They're not sound blocking, and so it's like kind of weird. People can actually watch you sleep. especially if you're a female, you don't know who's watching you, and like you have your purse, like it's just kind of. And so our thought was like, that's kind of proof that places are willing to invest in sleep in the workplace. Or
and you know what's weird is if you're in an airport and you walk by somebody sitting in one of the rows of chairs and they happen to be nodded off, nobody even pays attention to them, right?
Yeah.
But if they're sitting in a chair, like a showroom that's designed for sleep, you walk by, that's going to garner attention at least until we all get used to this.
Yeah.
We're not used to it yet, but once we get used to it, this is the more mobile we get as a world, and that's happening worldwide, the more we're going to need things on the go.
Yeah.
You already know that, though.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%.
Have you done any kind of industry projections, or do we even know what kind of marketplace there is for this? Is there? I'm not even sure there's a way to know how to measure the market for this because we don't know how many people are going to do this yet.
Yeah.
Because it's so new.
I mean, I have a very kind of aggressive game plan. Like the first 2 years, we really want to focus on exclusive placements, so that's like LAX for the travelers, or UCLA for the students, or Coachella for the attendees. But years like 3 and 4 post funding, we kind of want to do like a city to city type of rollout, to where you maybe have 20 of these in downtown San Francisco and 20 of these in downtown LA, and things like bookable showers, and it kind of becomes like a hotel disruptor. And so I think there's a huge space in the market for something like this.
You're in the early stages of this right now. Mm-hmm. Are you funding this out of pocket from previous businesses, or do you have investors, or are you still in the process of raising capital?
Yeah, so we brought on a little bit of angel money in December from Mike Alfred, who's an entrepreneur out here. I have put some money into it for my last exit, which was 2 years ago. And right now we're raising our seed round, so $850.
So you're right in the throes of the first good round here.
Yep, we just opened that up last week.
850.
Yeah.
Have you done anything that big yet? Is this your first? I mean, it's a pretty good sized hunk of money.
Yeah. So the last company I had, I bootstrapped it. So I built it up, and it really like taught me how to build a business because I didn't have any money given to me. So this is the first time I'm.
Because your age, okay, I can't. So many things to ask, and there's like one segment left. Nick Woods is here, founder and CEO of HOHM. HOHM.life is the website, bringing sleep to you. You're listening to BISTalk. I'm Bob Ryan.
I'm Montana Smith.
I'm Aaron Canada.
We make courageous contagious. Stay with us. We'll be right back. I have so many things to ask.
That's fun.
Yeah, one more segment.
Yeah, more or less. Took some time, yeah. Cut out the
What
first
happens,
half.
though, this is like an acquired taste.
Yeah.
So you do it once, and it's kind of awkward, but then you go home and you think about it.
Yeah.
And then you're addicted.
Yeah.
And now you want to keep coming back.
Yeah.
Then you want your own radio show.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
The second time we have you on, we charge you.
Yeah.
Because you're begging us.
So is your mom Korean?
My mom?
Yeah.
No.
Or your dad?
Where did Korean come from?
Yeah, no, I'm half black, half white. So my mom is Greek, and then my
I thought you said Korean, half Korean.
No, Greek.
Oh, I thought you said you were half Korean. That's why I said I have a close tie to Korea. Okay, so your mom, you're half white, half black.
Yeah.
So you're mulatto.
Yeah.
Jeez. It's so funny. My dad pastored a black church when I was a kid.
Oh,
So
really?
I grew up.
Okay.
I did not know I was.
That's funny.
That was pretty good.
I remember when I found out I was white, somebody called me a hunky, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I go to my mom, it's like, oh, what's a hunky? She said, I don't know, son.
If I heard that, I wouldn't know what that really was. I've heard of that term, though, but yeah.
Well, this was in the 60s.
Yeah.
There was, I mean, way
Things
back.
were different a bit.
Yeah.
Do you remember that SNL skit with
get the traditional
Richard
one
Pryor
and
and Chevy Chase? They're doing wordplay, right? And Chevy Chase is like the psychologist. And
I
Richard
never
Pryor-
saw SNL.
And so Chevy Chase starts saying all these racial slurs, and Richard Pryor would respond back with a racial slur about a white guy, and eventually he gets the N-word, right? And they actually said it on Saturday Night Live back in the
Really?
70s.
This I was going to say, it's supposed to be back in the 70s.
And he said the N-word, and Chevy Chase and Richard Pryor said, "Dead hunky." He's like, just tell me what you think. It was like one of the most brilliant skits of all time, and really like
Probably right up on
far.
you
YouTube.
couldn't show that on television today. I mean, it's unbelievable.
You guys
how
coming back
That's
in 5
interesting.
seconds. Last segment.
That's awesome.
Too much to talk about.
Welcome back. You're listening to BizTalk, Believing is Seeing Talk Radio, where we make courageous contagious. And we'd like to take this moment to thank our award-winning engineer, Jeff Bilodeau, our show music by Derek Audette, our interns, Sarah, Andrew, Suna, and Dan, who's in studio with us today. Thanks, guys. We couldn't do it without you. I'm Montana Smith.
I'm Aaron Canada.
I'm Bob Ryan. Nick, thanks for coming in again. Appreciate you taking time out. I know you're swamped right now.
Yep.
You're in the middle of raising money. You're in the middle of launching a company, getting things going. This is a company that is bringing sleep to people in the form of would you call them sleep pods? Is that the official name for them?
Yeah, they are sleep pods, but they're also they're just private spaces. I mean, you could go in there, you could make a phone call, you could do a little laptop.
You don't have to sleep in.
No,
if you just wanted to. And for
your phone.
For the 10 to 12 or whatever it's going to cost per hour, that's a really inexpensive way to get some privacy. You know, it really is.
Especially in a terminal at airports. I mean, you're literally arm in arm with these people, and you're in these black chairs with the metal.
I mean, how many times have you been traveling, and especially like when you go through an airport like Chicago, where they put all the arms up, there's no place to lay down in that airport anywhere.
They do that on purpose.
Well, I know.
Is there an outlet or any sort of Wi-Fi in there? Like if you're in the middle, if you're at Coachella, are you going to be able to go in and plug in your phone and charge your laptop?
And can you upcharge for that?
Absolutely. So there, every pod has 2 outlets, regular outlets, and 2 like USB outlets, so you could go in and charge your phone. Or
is it a battery, or does the pod have to be hooked up to the grid somehow?
So the pods all just plug into the wall. So it's just
because they have lighting,
standard 120 volt. Yeah.
Do they have cooling and heating in them, or is that dependent? Is you're using the inside of the building to do that?
Exactly. So, so they pull in the cool air, but they are indoor pods, so they need to be placed in air conditioned
so you're
spots.
you're using the air conditioning and the heating in the building, which would be silly to create your own environment when there's already an environment in the building that's very comfortable.
It gets more expensive if you try to add
so
AC.
I know there's so many important things to ask you about, but this has been bugging me the whole show. You've had to have conversations, and we talked a little bit about it, about the things that you have to plan for, the weird stuff that nobody is going to think that's going to happen, but's going to happen. Like a little kid gets in one and shuts the door and locks themselves in.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to think about, okay, what happens if this happens? Could that happen? What's the weirdest stuff you've thought of that might happen inside?
No wonder it's being burning up.
That's an interesting question. But
it's like asking a chauffeur what's the weirdest thing that's ever happened in the back of their limo. They never tell you.
Yeah. I actually have a list of, it's not really like a plan, but it's a list of like possible things I feel like we should watch out for.
You have to have that, right?
Yeah.
Because if you built this and you didn't think of all those things, and then something goes wrong, you're going to be liable for that, right?
I didn't think of bringing the dog.
So what's the okay? There's a. I hadn't thought of pets.
Yeah.
Are pets going to be allowed?
Probably not.
What about significant others? Is it a 1-person maximum?
It's a 1-person, but I think one weird thing, which it's not really weird, but it's like I could see happening, would be, people try to go in there and maybe like smoke, and so
smokers need that bad. They're on a plane. They can't smoke in the bathroom.
Yeah.
They get in a terminal. They can't smoke. They got to leave the terminal. And like I said, if you're in Chicago and O'Hare, leaving the terminal can be a 3-hour process.
You should have one dedicated
a
to
smoking pod.
Right?
I meant like cannabis.
Oh, well, that would be okay, right?
Yeah.
Dressing up for the next.
Depending on what state you're in, you're fine in California.
Yeah.
Did you like have a business model for you?
Yeah. I like
well, that's a really interesting point. What if somebody does do cannabis in there, right?
Yeah.
So what does the attendant do when the whole thing fills up with smoke?
So
join them.
It's good for hotboxing, but I've never done that.
Let's not smoke outdoors. It's too wide open out here. Let's go inside.
Yeah. So that's a funny point, but. So we wouldn't want them to smoke inside, obviously. So they would have, we have insurance, but they also, they register with us when they go inside. So, we might even, talk about doing something like a security deposit.
Yeah, and that would be reasonable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, people, I think I would expect if I was going to rent a small room, which is what this is, that I would have to put some kind of deposit down, like everybody does when you rent a hotel room.
Right.
Because really what you're doing is you brought the hotel room down to by the hour But
Exactly.
they already have those at some places, don't they?
I wouldn't know about that.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, they're called love hotels.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about that because kids are listening right now.
Family
Mom,
show.
what's a love hotel?
Love's a
You know the
four-letter
mom
word,
that just picked her kids up from school?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all going,
She
Mom,
turns
what's
us
a love
on.
hotel?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
With the husbands and wives.
Yeah.
Go in the hotel.
Yeah, we'll tell you when we get home, son. So, the different things that you can have that go wrong in there, you've planned for as many of them as you can.
Yeah.
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 I still
It's
bet
smart.
there's going to be stuff that comes up that you didn't plan for, right?
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, it's a combination of us having insurance, of us holding the individuals liable with the security deposit, and having an account, and being able to ban people. It's kind of a combination of that, and the attendant helps too. You know, that's another reason why you can't have them unmanned, because all sorts of stuff can go on. So,
You know, we have just a minute or two left, and I wanted to go back to what you said at the very beginning when we started the show, that you knew. You didn't say, I believed, I thought, I hoped. You knew something was going to work out for you.
Yep.
So it's just a matter of keeping going until that something worked out.
Yep.
I think there's so many people out there that say nothing will ever work out for me. I've tried, and nothing ever works out, so they quit trying. What do
Yeah.
you tell those people?
I mean, I literally, like I said, I started when I was 14 trying stuff, and my first success was when I was 19. So that's like, you know, that's a good amount of time, right? It's 5 years of just going after stuff. And,
And to a 14-year-old, that's like 20.
yeah,
It's
I
like
was
a long time.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, it's like kind of like, ah, man, like this is not work, but you still kind of have that vision. And by the time, you know, I was 19, I was hungrier than ever. I was waiting for that next opportunity, and so when I saw it, I was like, psh, and let me apply all this stuff I just learned to this new company, and you know, now I have more knowledge than I did 5 years ago. So it's like you'll just keep gaining experience, even if one thing isn't successful, that you could take to your next venture.
We talked about not viewing failure as failure, and you said that at the very beginning, and that's our philosophy on this show.
Yeah,
Failure is not failure, it's just practice.
just practice.
Professional athletes go out and fall down and skin their knees and bloody their noses all the time.
Yep, absolutely.
Sounds like you practiced a lot.
Yep,
Hopefully,
yeah,
you're going to keep getting it right.
yep. Thank you so much.
HOHM Inc., HOHM.life is the website. Nikolas, again, thank you so much. Nikolas Woods, founder and CEO. You've been listening to BISTalk, Believing is Seeing Talk Radio, where we make courageous contagious. I'm Bob Ryan.
I'm Montana Smith.
And I'm Aaron Canada.
Go make something good happen for yourself. Take that mad leap, folks. Bye-bye.